retaliation now.
Don't move!
Arrested Mr. Mohammed. Off the block.
Yeah, you only the man like if he's a criminal.
Right now in Smythe Street. Mohammed.
Democracy looks like in Guyana, then we're in a very sad state. Nearly 110,000 of Guyanese citizens voiced their choice on September 1st for their representative. And if this is a deliberate tactic to prevent him from taking that role, then all I can say is that we're at a very sad state in this country.
Could you tell us a little bit about the nature of the arrest of your father? Apparently he was at Lombard Street, if you know what happened.
Yeah, I heard that. I did hear that they arrested both my brother Azrin Mohammed and our elderly father Nazar Mohammed, confiscated their phones and as well as the phones of their employees. And I heard that they threw Azrin Mohammed in the back of a pickup truck on direct orders, and our elderly father in a car. So
who's the lawyer representing them, please?
Sian Durjan.
Okay, could you give us an update when you come back out?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I am right now at Brigham Police Station, which is in this new building here at Evelary. And we're told that Azruddin Mohammed and his father Nazar have been arrested this morning. Azruddin was arrested on Smythe Street, his father in Lombard Street at the office there, the Mohammed's office. And we're told that they're being brought here, and they have been brought here. And the lawyers are here also. As you would know, they were sanctioned by OFAC a couple of years ago, and there is a grand jury indictment and extradition orders which may have led to their arrest. There is a process for dealing with extradition in Guyana. Guyana does have an extradition order with the United States of America, an extradition relationship, I must say, not order, with the United States of America. And I'll bring you a little bit more details as soon as we can on this.
A very good afternoon to you all, wherever you're joining this live broadcast from HGP Nightly News. We are coming to you live from in front of the Georgetown Magistrates Court. In front of the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where we expect the police to soon shuttle in Azruddin Mohammed and his father Nazar Shal Mohammed, who were both arrested moments ago, taken to the police headquarters at Evelary. We are not quite aware of the purpose of the arrest. We are not sure up to this point why they are being brought before a magistrate. We understand there's a special sitting for this matter today, So we have journalists guarding both gates because this has been very hush-hush by the police and by the other relevant authorities. We see the sister and other relatives of Azadeen Mohammed. They're standing under the big tree as we know it, just outside the Georgetown Magistrates Court. But the word from sources, the police are preparing to bring Azadeen Mohammed and his father Nazar Mohammed before a magistrate here in downtown Georgetown. Still, we are not aware of the circumstances surrounding the arrest. We're not sure of the circumstances surrounding the arrest, but we are told that he's being brought before, they are being brought before a magistrate whose name has been given to us, by the way, for a special sitting of this matter. We are still, good afternoon, still not aware of on what charge Azadeen Mohammed has been brought here. We are still not aware of the reason for the arrest. We're hearing things like extradition, we're hearing things like GRE, we're hearing all manner of things, but we are not sure at this point. I really can't say to the viewers, the listeners, the reason for Azadeen and his father's arrest. What we do know is that they're being brought before a magistrate. And in fact, 3 persons, I'm told, have been arrested. It is Azadeen Mohammed, his security personnel, one security personnel, and his father, Nazar Shel Mohammed. I think the family too, they too are befuddled. His sister Hannah Mohammed, she too can't say the reason for the arrest of her brother and her father, but we do know that they're being brought before a magistrate very shortly. I'm told that that hearing is see an entourage of police vehicles coming here. It's probably let's see what's happening here. We see an entourage of police vehicles, sirens there. They coming here? A party of policemen just left the Lombard Street location. I understand that they will be executing several searches at the homes and other known business places of Azadeen Mohammed. A press release a press release from the Attorney General's chambers. It's just coming to us. It says it speaks about the arrest of Nazar Mohammed and Azadeen Mohammed. The AG chamber said that they were arrested this morning by the Ghana police force It was a warrant issued by a magistrate of the Georgetown Magistrates Court on the 30th of October 2025. The government of Guyana received a request from the government of the United States of America to extradite the two Mohammeds pursuant to an extradition treaty between Guyana and the United Kingdom. The arrest warrant was issued. So the Attorney General has confirmed that Azzeddine's a request has come in for the extradition of Azzeddine and his father. Let's see what's happening here. We see the heavy police presence here. And it seems like the father and son have arrived for, it has been confirmed that it is an extradition request by the United States of America. The United States of America has requested the extradition of the father and son, and the police, from what I'm hearing, has executed that order, and they're now being taken before a magistrate. We see Azzeddine's attorney, Sayan Dejan, and Mr. De Silva. Attorney, we see the Prime Ministerial candidate for the We Invest in Nationhood Party. We see Tabitha Sarabo Haley there. See what's happening here. This is at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. So we have been able to confirm that the police arrested Azzeddine Mohammed and his father based on an extradition request from the United States government. The Attorney General, based on a press release from the Attorney General's office, says that extradition request was received by the government on the 30th of this month. So according to the extradition request, it alleges that between 2017 and June 2024, Azzeddine Mohammed and his father conspired to defraud the government of Ghana by evading export taxes and royalties on over 10,000 kilograms of gold. There's another allegation here for March 2025. The government of Ghana received a comprehensive dossier, according to the AG Chambers, of evidence from the U.S. authorities, and the dossier included documentation related to gold exportation irregularities, falsified custom declarations, and undeclared shipments seized in Miami. So we have been able to confirm that this here, see the presence of the army right now. So much happening around me as we speak. See a joint patrol, the army. Over 30 police vehicles. They are being taken before a magistrate as we speak, based on an extradition request from the United States government. understand that both father and son, they're already in court. Court 7, I understand. They're heading towards... They're in court already, court 7. But the police, the army, joint services, they're maintaining a serious presence here at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. So Azadeen Mohammed and his father, they are already in court waiting. Waiting to see a magistrate. His family members, other concerned people apparently can't get close to the father and son. I'm still trying to get a comment from his sister as to what she's hearing. So we have been able to confirm that this arrest is based on the extradition request by the United States government. This was received on Wednesday. Today, Friday, Azadeen Mohammed is arrested 3 days ahead of the reconvening of the 13th Parliament. He's been taken before a magistrate. I understand a special hearing for that matter. See members of the We Invested Nationhood Party. Hannah, any sufficient information so far? Nothing yet. Miss Tabito, you're closer to Azadeen than us. What are you hearing so far?
Nothing so far.
Nothing at all?
Nothing
You just
so
know that he's arrested?
Yes,
Nothing?
nothing so far. So we await what happens.
You took note of the AG Chambers press release?
Yes, I noted that. Well, that is all public knowledge. So we wait what happens following this process in the court.
As a prime ministerial candidate of the We Invest in Nationhood Party, Tabita Sarabo Haley, all their family members, supporters of Azadeen Mohammed, down here at the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where it's all unfolding. So you can confirm that Azadeen Mohammed and his father have been arrested, and the police are saying that they're acting on a warrant following an extradition request by the United States government, which was received on the 30th of this month. So that is the confirmation we have. He has a extradition hearing as we speak. So Azadeen Mohammed and his father, they were brought here, taken through the back gate. We understand that the Mohammeds, they were indicted early October, shortly after Ghana's elections. So this is going to be a heck of a day 4 reporters. We are waiting to hear from Azzeddine's attorney, Sayan, De Jean, and De Silva. This is the scene at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Heavy police presence. Father and son brought to court following an extradition request from the United States of America. Now I note a letter from the address to the Minister of Home Affairs, Onij Waldron, on behalf of Sayan De Jean, who is the attorney representing Azzeddine Mohammed. The letter reads, it was sent on this, it doesn't have a date here, yes, the 6th of October 2025. It says, I act on behalf of Mr. Nazar Mohammed and Mr. Azzeddine Mohammed. My clients have observed a purported indictment filed against them in the United States of America, indicting them with the commission of 11 offenses. Please note that my clients have every intention to participate in the lawful extradition process provided for under the Fugitive Offenders Act to vindicate themselves therein. To this end, my clients intend to surrender to the authorities whensoever the relevant formal processes, the necessary warrants, whether provisional or otherwise, and or the authority to proceed are executed. And this was sent to the Home Affairs Minister on the 6th of October, indicating the Mohammed's willingness to participate in the lawful extradition process, meaning they were ready and able to surrender to the authorities. But it is a very tense situation here at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. They're in court, but let me just take you a little bit outside to show you what's happening on the outside of the court. There's heavy police presence outside of the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The gates are being manned. You see supporters of the We Invest in Nationhood party. They're already lining up outside of the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Yeah. Take you a bit outside of the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Well, come from far, but I must We are outside of the Georgetown Magistrates Court now. Just around.
Okay, all right, good.
Heavy police presence at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. I'm just outside giving you a slight update as to what is happening. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, both Azadin Mohammed and his father, they are already before the court. You're gonna write, you're gonna speak. I like writing. Travis, how are you? I think I want me around. And I like reading.
November? Yes. Travis?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to part of the critics studio.
Partner? Okay. So you understand that certain actions are being taken in at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Persons who have all the hearings are being turned away. They are being told that new dates are being affixed to their matters. So nothing is moving except the Azadin Mohammed Nazar Shah Mohammed matter.
I see the name come there.
You might step over the baggage. Yeah. Somebody has done that there. All of you guys are so quiet. I want to comment on somebody on this matter. And we just got word that the security for Azadin Mohammed, who was earlier arrested, has been released from police custody. He has been released from police custody and gave him a nod just now, and he seemed to can't understand why he was arrested, but he has been released from police custody. Downstairs. The back. Who's the magistrate? Judy Latchman? Understand that Azadin Mohammed and his father, they're in court 7 somewhere along. Am I allowed to pass here? Why? Nobody else. In the court? Oh. Who passed instructions? You know? No. Alright. You know the courts are for public hearings, right? Except in the case of a minor. You know, right? You don't know. Huh? You only follow instruction. Understand? Alright. So yes, so the police, it has been confirmed. I only approached the cop for some confirmation that the media is not allowed to even go inside of the courtroom where the extradition order request is being heard. No one else is allowed to pass there. Court 7, it's down below in the Georgetown Magistrates Court. City Magistrate, the magistrate name. So we're basically waiting to hear from Azzeddine's attorney. I saw two attorneys, Cyan Jean. Sorry? Cyan Jean and Damien De Silva. We see the arrival of the public relations officer for the We Invest in Nationhood Party, Odessa Primus, General Secretary rather, of the We Invest in Nationhood Party. Miss Primus, good morning.
Good morning.
as the General Secretary
Yes.
for the We Invest in Nationhood Party, could you tell us what you heard of this arrest and what you're hearing so far now that they're in? Now, could you turn this way? From the lighting.
You mean come over this side?
Yeah.
Got it.
And what you're hearing so far?
Well, I have no information that most people don't have in that we know that both of the Mohammeds were arrested separately, and the government has indicated that the U.S. has asked for them to be extradited. And based on what has happened today, because I was told this morning, and this is just hearsay, I cannot confirm nor deny that the court was shut down this morning to facilitate Ms. Judy Latchman being moved from the court that she is usually at and brought here. And there was some sort of upheaval here because nobody was told or prepared for her coming. So she just went and sat in what I, based on information, is Court 7. And then subsequently, because while this was happening, both of the Mohammeds were still free. Momentarily, they were both arrested and taken to the police station, of course, which is public information. For those of you who may be wondering what we think about what is happening currently, it is obvious to this entire country that the government is controlling and manipulating this entire process. And if one is to say that that is not so, then that is merely a demonstration of your ignorance, because Azzedine is not the only person, nor is his father the only person or persons who were sanctioned in this country. Was May arrested and thrown in the back of a vehicle? No. We have another list that subsequently came out with persons who were charged, were sanctioned, in relation to cocaine trafficking. Do we see a speedy interest in getting any of these people out of the country? Absolutely not. In fact, and again, this I cannot prove, but what we have been hearing is that the police who was sanctioned is still being paid by the government of Guyana. And so, as we would have seen, even during the campaign, the fight against the Mohammeds has been greater than any fight that we have seen. In fact, there has been no fight as it relates to other persons who were sanctioned. So it cannot be a matter of the government wants to do right by the people, because we can't want to do right by the people by only dealing with some of the people and not all of the people. So if it was a matter of doing the right thing, as you would have seen through the government's puppets and minions over the last couple of days, they have been hinting to something big coming. And for some reason or the other, most of what comes from the government is Mohammed-oriented. And so it was, I guess you could have preempted that this was coming. And so I don't think that this has been a shock or a surprise to anyone. But I do believe that democracy in this country is significantly threatened. In the face of real opposition, this is the stance that the PPP government has taken to fight the opposition. We are mere hours away. I know you haven't asked any questions, but I have a lot of things to say, sweetheart. So we are mere hours away from the opposition, the reconvening of Parliament, but from it's not even about the Parliament, because it's specifically about the opposition, about the main opposition party. And as Barra Jagdeo would have mentioned publicly, and the story was carried by most of you here, that he is not inclined to work with the Mohammeds. And so the actions that ensue thereafter aligns with what the president, Barra Jagdeo has said, sorry, slip of the tongue, has said in his live weekly updates.
Let me ask you a quick question. If a big if, Azzedine Mohammed is not released today, is the party still going to go to Parliament?
We were elected by the people, sir. We are going to Parliament. And that is it. There is no ifs, buts, or maybes. We are not here to serve ourselves or our interests. And if the people see and have faith in us as a party, whether or not Azzedine is released today, the music will be played and the party will go on.
Okay. Do you know if any searches or so were conducted at Azzedine's premises or his home? Or the office of Win?
At the office of Win, huh? No, to the best of my knowledge, no. They did not search anywhere. I think the police, as well as the government for whom they work, is fully well aware that there is nothing to be found illegal on the premises. And I don't think that they have an interest necessarily in searching the premises of the Mohammeds. It is more or less about embarrassment to them. And if you look at the manner in which Azadin particularly, because Azadin, his father, was arrested, do we see an outpouring of videos and footages of his father's arrest? In fact, people were wondering if he was arrested. So it is crystal clear that this is about Azadin Mohammed. Shell Mohammed, unfortunately, in this situation is a casualty. And so it is quite evident that this is what they are trying to do. And further to that, they did not even find it fit to extend the courtesies because he was cooperating. He was complying with whatever the police was asking.
No, he didn't indicate that.
Right. So, and I did share that document publicly as well on my Facebook page. So he was cooperating with law enforcement. And you could not even give this man the courtesy of, putting him in the back seat of the van. You throw him in the back of a thing, back of a pickup, you'd believe he snatched a person tongue or something. Well,
A third person was arrested, Nazar, Azadin, and I believe his security?
yes, he was subsequently released, but that just adds to the whole poppy show, because this guy is not sanctioned. Why do you need to arrest him? Why do you need to, if you look at the way it played out, the police surround the car, they come out with guns aimed to the car, even when the handcuffs were being placed on Azadin. There were these heavy artillery. Where was all this heavy artillery and this big procession when we had a guy that bombed the gas station only recently? Where was this big heavy artillery when we had this young lady, the Adriana young Matt over there? Where was the police with that degree of vigilance that they were tracing and following people? But instead, they were peddling so much lies about some man and some ram and all sorts of things. And so here we are in a position where we have no faith in the government of Guyana, absolutely none, and we have zero faith in the Guyana police force because they have proven not only to be incompetent but to be liars and to be destructive in nature, because you would have had a man's life and livelihood being affected and uprooted based on the lies. We don't see anybody being dragged before the court. We don't see the courts being shut down to deal with these people, but that is the manner in which they are dealing with the Mohammeds, and specifically with Azadin, because like I said, he is the person that is the threat, because he's the person who has political interest, who was able to mobilize a large number of supporters here within this country, and has now taken up the seat of leader of the opposition. And so as far as the government is concerned, he's a threat, because the PNC don't have no money to be running things. Listen, we can keep it 100. Don't have no money to be running anything. Terence and Psycho only got so much money. The Mohammeds are able to effectively campaign against this government, as you would have seen daily reports from different parts of the different regions within this country where schools are in deplorable state and all these sorts of things, which is a problem for the government. And so they do not want to have real opposition. And as we know, you can't do nothing without money. Right? It don't matter how nice you're nice and your heart clean and so on, you go and help auntie wipe down your step. Auntie want a little food in she pot and you don't have food in your either. And so that is why if somebody rises up that has the financial means, the willingness as well to do good by the people, they will pose a problem to this government, because the PPP government does not care about the people in this country at all. If you cared about the people, you would have respected the will of the people. And I know that Barrett is going to come on his foolish Thursday rant with some nonsense about what I would have said, and I'd like to make it very clear and to repeat what I've said unapologetically, that the PPP government does not care about the people of Guyana.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Odessa Primus, the General Secretary of the We Invest in Nationhood Party, giving her bits and pieces on the arrest of Azadin Mohammed. Quite a mouthful. It's unbelievable here, the amount of police presence. Earlier we saw a army patrol. I think they have increased the police presence here at the Georgetown Magistrates Court because let me just try to get to the top here a bit to show you a bit of what's happening on the outside. As I indicated earlier, I am in the compound of the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Behind him. I want to go for the back, but they want it first. Well done. Just send me your invoice. Ariana, just send me your invoice. Thanks. Right. Has Mr. Hughes been retained? So what we will do, we understand some filings and other things have to be done in this matter. Once the situation at the court develops, we will come back to you live with all of the updates. But as we speak, Azadin Mohammed and his father are in court, and the government has said the police were acting on an extradition request from the United States of America. So stay tuned to this page. We'll bring you all of the updates very soon.